Hi, my name is Christina Ellis, and I'm a teacher here in Orange County, California. I'm really looking forward to hosting some students in my house. I'm looking forward to teaching them English, learning about them, showing them where I live, all the great places to visit, building relationships and learning about each other's cultures. I think it's going to be a really fun and enriching experience. But I definitely like to have the relationship and to feel comfortable with my students, and I like them to feel comfortable so that they can make mistakes and not feel like it's a dangerous place to make mistakes. They can take risks. And so how I do that mostly is I like to bring in a lot of personal stories. I like to bring in a lot of humor. Make it a place where we can laugh at me, at the students, at the situation. And I have often been called a real life teacher, where I'll bring in, I like to make it out of a life lesson so they can take it back to the real world. Because I feel like not only am I teaching English, reading, math, I'm teaching them how to be a better citizen, a better person. And teaching myself that too, and learning from each other. I appreciate that with students and having discussions and trying to become better people. So
it just comes to mind, it is nice to know that when the students stay with you, the way in which you teach has like a life lesson to it. I think one of the goals of any English learner coming to America to have this experience is to have a real relatable experience.
Absolutely, and I feel, and I've done a homestay myself, where I've been a guest in someone's home.
So you can relate to them.
Absolutely, I feel like it's so much you want to learn about people and how they've grown up somewhere else and what's that like and how is it different, and then you find all these similarities that we have just in our humanity of how we treat other people and how we interact with our world. So I think it's
And I also know that you like to do a lot of activities and go to the beach.
Absolutely.
Just on the education side is one thing, but it's really neat to know that when students stay with you, they'll be able, from our conversations, going to the beach and going for
Absolutely.
walks.
I can't wait. I live in a great part of the United States where we have the ocean nearby. We have Los Angeles nearby, Hollywood. There's so many points of interest that are so easy to get to, and it gives me an excuse to go visit them again. And taking someone new that's never seen them before, it just helps you see it in an all new light. And so, I've already got plans to head up to Hollywood, head up to the beach, go to a few different beaches, maybe check out Laguna, their art walk.
I was thinking about you as I was telling my mom, it is really neat, the student that does have the chance to stay with you, because not only do you love teaching, but you love activities, you love to do things. And I think that, a lot of times the students come and they stay here and they wonder who they're going to get. Is the Homestay family going to be just as active as they are? And I think we both share that. I know when our students stay at our home, we love to do things.
I know. I feel like I'm not that active. I'm not going to go to the gym. But I like to walk around and I like to get out. And I do have a very good support system that's excited about having students come. I have a few friends and a few family members that are, looking forward to meeting them. And I feel like through those activities, they'll learn a lot of English, but it will be that kind of thing where the, what we call the affect level, where they can relax and then start to learn. So it's not necessarily as formal as a classroom, and so it's okay to make mistakes. It's not like there's going to be red marks all over their paper and there's a definite right answer or wrong answer.
I can imagine for these students learning English, there'll be plenty of mistakes being made.
Exactly. But on the other hand, it's like you can know, okay, this is a good time to correct them. This is a good time to correct their pronunciation, and this is a time, let it go. It's not,
Absolutely.
That's a delicate balance when someone's learning a language.
Some of the students want to know is, what kind of teacher are you in relation to working with international students? How do you, what's your teaching style like?
Well, with international, I have a lot of language learners in my classroom. So
this is something you have experienced with?
I do, yeah. And what I've noticed is that I teach the way I like to learn, and that is when I've been in foreign language classes, if you can make it comfortable and you can make it fun and personal, like we've talked about, then you can learn more. You can
you learn more when you enjoy yourself. Right?
Absolutely, and when you're not nervous. So that's one thing, is to make things comfortable. Knowing when and how often to correct mistakes, because if it's too often, then no one will take risk and no one will, do the speaking. I think a knowledge base of how we acquire language, knowing that you can understand through listening a lot faster and quicker than you can begin to produce the language. So understanding that someone may be understanding what I'm saying in English, but have a hard time responding to me in English. So
it's nice to know you have so much experience with working with students like this.
Well,
and
and
when they come here, they're not. This is going to be.
It's going to be all new for them. So.
But you're really sensitive to these issues.
Well, I took French for quite a few years, and then I went to France, and I was horrible. I was horrible at speaking it, and part of it's because we don't hear it all the time. So my understanding is they probably have some book knowledge of English, but maybe not a lot of experience listening to it and speaking the dialect and hearing our, just understanding, pronunciation and all of that. So being sensitive to, when I went to France, if you could give it to me on paper, I could probably get about 75% of it, but hearing it, I was completely lost. I mean, I'll never forget, I landed in France and I was a teenager and I had to call home, and this is way before cell phones, and I could not even understand a payphone because when I picked up the phone, they spoke so quickly in French, I didn't even know how much money to put in, what to do. I couldn't get a hold of my parents for 3 days, which is now a funny story because it's like, they don't know what happened to me, who knows? I mean, it was way before internet, so they didn't know what was going on, but just feeling that confusion of, and knowing that, okay, if I could have just read that on a card, I could have figured out exactly what to do.
It's nice
so
that whoever ends up, the lucky group of kids that get to stay with you will really have like a really nice learning experience. I mean, it seems like you really have that kind of understanding of what it's like to be them. You have experience.
Yeah, being a person that has been abroad, been somewhere where I didn't know the language, and knowing that can be an adventure, but it also this can be a little scary as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to be able to host students from a different place and be able to impart my English skills and help you learn about America and Southern California. And I'm really, really excited to learn about your country and what's important to you.